Hey guys, welcome to, not sure what episode number of the Build and Boast podcast this is, because we'll see what order we put them out in. But here I got a new friend, Brandan, and he's got a really, really cool design build company, and learning some cool things about him. And also he has 3.2 acres in Tempe, which is impossible. So that's pretty fun. We're going to get to know each other a little bit, hopefully have some fun, and go from there, man. So thanks for coming out, man.
Appreciate it.
So you've kind of lived lots of lives
I have
already.
I hear that often.
Yeah, between firefighter and military veteran, which thank you for that. Software engineer, you've kind of been all over the place. So, if you want to break down, just like, I know it's very vague, but like, what's that? Why is the journey taking you to so many places, and what's kind of brought you to where you are now?
Yeah, it's pretty easy when I answer. For me, I figured it out like a long time ago. I'm just a real curious person, so I love to learn. So when I get somewhere, I'll learn something, and oftentimes once I get there, I'm like, I don't want to stay here for much longer, so I just move on to the next thing. And part of that's probably because of how I grew up. It's like, grew up pretty poor. I was pull my mattress out of a closet up until the end of high school, so I was a poor kid. So I was always preaching, like, go to school, because my mom didn't have more than a third grade education from the Philippine Islands, so did that. But I also learned a trade at the same time. My first trade that I learned was that of a automotive refinisher. So my grandfather was an automotive refinisher, my father, my brother. So I come from that real long line of blue collar workers. So I went out and did both, learned a trade, got a college degree, went out into corporate America, and then that's when things started happening.
Awesome. What was the order of events? Like, what did you do, I guess, like, in your career, like, first?
Okay, yeah. So graduated high school, went to college, wrestled in college, left Cal State Bakersfield, came back here, finished at ASU, became an intern for Honeywell. But I used to spend the summers in the paint shop as a painter's helper. So I was kind of learning that, like, as I went. When I came back from Bakersfield, I painted full-time for a year, went back to school, finished that. And then it's actually a pretty funny story. And then after I graduated, I joined the military, but I was also employed by Arthur Anderson, but they couldn't start me at the time, so they put me on a stipend. So I was in basic training, and I worked for Honeywell at the same time. So I was getting a full-time paycheck from Honeywell, a stipend from Arthur Anderson, and then the military was paying me. And I didn't even know that the military hadn't paid me until like my 10th or 11th week in basic training, when my girlfriend at the time said, "Hey, money from the Army's never hit your account." And I'm like, "What?" So I run it up the chain. The drill sergeant tells me to come back at a certain time, so I come back, and they're asking me questions of like, why, how did you go 11 weeks without being paid? And I was like, well, it's kind of a long story, sir. And he's like, well, you're gonna have to tell me private. It's like, yeah. So I tell this long story, and they're like, okay, that makes sense now. So, but funny. Matter of fact, they brought every other drill sergeant from the company in to retell my story, and then they all just kind of ridiculed me after that. So
that's great. Funny. That's funny. Funny enough, I was a wrestler for several years too.
Oh yeah,
so,
nice.
Yeah. What weight did you wrestle?
I wrestled 58 in college, 67 in college, and then in high school I wrestled 71s. And then I compete internationally in jiu-jitsu still, like now. So
that's awesome. Yeah. That's cool.
Can't seem to get off a mat.
Yeah, I haven't done any grappling in a while. I did a little bit of jiu-jitsu for a bit, judo after high school. Okay. But then I wrestled middle school and most of high school. I stopped before the end of high school, but
great sport.
It was just like a grind, like
Super
5
grind.
a.m. practices, and then there till 8, 9 p.m. and then.
That's what I love
but
about it.
I wrestled 112 in high school.
Yeah,
I was a small guy. I was a really small guy. Which freshman year I was underweight, but as the years got on, they're like, "You're a 112 guy," and I was like, "112 is getting hard to make." I was like,
yeah, because as you hit puberty and get bigger.
Yeah, I was like, which I didn't really grow till like senior year that much, anyways. But yeah, I was definitely.
Actually, it's not like you're 5'5", like that.
Yeah, I was 5'9" and what, but. Yeah, they're like the whole grace. I got the weight at like 114 for like the last little bit. It was like the grace period. But yeah, still. And then the random days are like I had to like make 103 out of nowhere. Like, because Greg was our 103 guy, and one day he had like the flu.
Right.
And they're like, "You're going down to 103 today," and I was like, Thanks. I already ate lunch. That's a great news.
They did the opposite to me in high school. They used to bump me up to heavyweight because I could beat the heavyweights at 171 pounds. But I'm like, do I really have to go out there and wrestle a 250-pound monster?
Yeah. I was about to say, our heavyweight guy was 250 pounds all day. I'm like, he swallowed
chubby and slow.
Yeah, but it's just like, it's just
Don't
like
get on top of me.
I take you're a big MMA fan then.
I am, but I'm not. Like, I appreciate the sport. Like, I don't watch a lot of it. Like, I train at a place on Sundays where it's an MMA like private gym only. So there's like an octagon in there. It's
awesome.
It's a crazy place, but I don't want to get punched in the face.
I've gotten the opposite. I like the striking more than the grappling now. I think I like the technicality of grappling, but I hate it's a different kind of hurt.
For sure.
It's like I feel like the impact pain is not as bad as like pulling and grinding and pushing and like your neck's so wore out from ties and so it's weird. For some reason I don't mind getting kicked in the head a couple times, but I haven't trained in a little bit. But I kind of fell in love with doing like Muay Thai and kickboxing after high school and stuff like that. And then,
gotta have something.
Yeah, I think martial arts is important for sure. I think a true martial arts is going to teach you discipline, but also defending yourself and also kind of get like put into a tribe.
Yeah,
a wrestling team in high school. Like we didn't matter if we weren't like close friends with so and so. If something was going on, the team had
it's going down.
It was like all right, cool.
We're tribal people, right?
Yeah, most definitely, man. Well, to kind of get back towards the path that you've been going on, when did you realize that like home building and construction was kind of the
I always liked it. Like as a kid, since we were poor, like we did a lot of our own renovations, like aunts and uncles, roofing, this, that, and the other. Like we built an addition. When I was in high school, my dad built a cabin in Strawberry, so we were up there like on the weekends doing that. So I've always liked to work on things, and like I said, I was a automotive refinisher, so I always like to take something that's beat up and then make it beautiful. So it's kind of been in me for a really long time. When I got hired from the fire department, I was still kind of doing some IT consulting, and I'm like, I don't want to do this like for the long term. I got out of that. Like, so I've always had a side business or a company since I was like 20 or 21. Like I was building servers and PCs in college and selling them and stuff like that. So I transitioned quickly into the contractor world because I was out like as a subcontractor. I actually started as a countertop and flooring contractor.
Okay.
Where I'd be on these big projects. I'm like, oh man, I know I can do it better than these guys. So I'm like, and I always had the aspiration to design and build my own homes, whether for real estate purposes, investment, or for clients. So it took me 4.5 years to get to that point after I jumped into the formal contracting world.
It's nice. That's cool. Yeah. So definitely seem like that likes to work with his hands a bit.
Yeah. So I like both sides, and that's the problem. I love the artistic side, and I also like to get in there. Like the hardest part is not being able to work like on a job site. Like it's nice now because you can mentor and coach and direct, but I think next year, I was just telling some people about it, I'm going to start another investment project, and I'm going to take it myself from the drywall stage and finish it out.
Oh,
with my guys, but I'm like, I'm going to be in that house with bags on, doing finished carpentry, stuff like that. So I'm excited to do that, but it really takes a lot of planning for me because all the other stuff we have going on.
Yeah, I was about to say, you got a lot going on. There's priorities. And,
yeah, for sure.
Especially, and family and stuff too. So that always, plays a role. It's like, oh, these several projects and businesses and then family. And so makes it
balance, right?
Yeah, if there's such thing.
I think there is
sometimes.
Man. And I haven't figured it out completely, but that's probably one of my strengths. I'm really good at spinning plates. Just keep them spinning, go back. Because like people are like, you train 6 days a week? I'm like, yeah, from like 9 a.m. to 11 o'clock, I'm training. Like everybody knows, like that's where I'm at. And I think for me, I don't know how it is for you, but the more balance I have, the better I am. So
yeah, I think it's a spinning plates game, right?
Yep.
And how long can certain plates spin on their own without the attention is always the game. Yeah. No, I hear that for sure. That's cool though. I just kind of want to know like a little bit like what does the business look like today? Now that we kind of talked about there's several roles and there's a lot of people in place and a lot of projects. So if you give us a walk down like how that looks right now.
Yeah, the business today it's really, really good. We have couple superintendents, 3 project coordinators, And then we have a couple in-house field guys. They're kind of my Swiss Army knives. They can frame an addition. They can actually frame a house, but they can install windows. They can do doors. They can do like finished carpentry. They're learning more finished carpentry from me. Matter of fact, today while I'm sitting in this podcast, they're installing their first cabinetry package on a project. They're really talented guys, really smart guys, but no one's ever taught them, formally how to do stuff. But they pick up on stuff like really quickly. So that, and then we probably have, of the core subcontractors, we have 2 in almost every single trade that we use regularly. Some of those guys get used 70% of the time. Maybe the second position guy gets used 30% of the time, because we develop a relationship with these guys over years. They understand our processes. They understand our quality work. They understand the expectation. I can manage that expectation. Yeah. There's not a lot of BS in there. Typically, if I'm ever going to bring in a new subcontractor, I'll bring them on one of my investment projects or my personal home, and I'll test them out there. Yeah. Because that's the best they're going to be on my stuff, right?
Oh yeah, they're going to, because you're going to, and then it's like, here, here's the standard. Now take the standard, and that's wherever, the standard everywhere else now.
For sure.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. You built something to be proud of. That's super cool.
I'm trying, but thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
we're not done yet.
Trying. It's always, we always think like, okay, well now there's this, and then the next step, and then what's next, and then, or you just like, more money, more problems, right? So it's like, well, now I got to bring this type of person in.
Yeah, I don't want to get too big. Like, I'm in a position right now where I'm refining processes, SOPs, just adjusting things little by little to make things run smoother. Because like, all eventually in the next year or two, I probably won't be here like in the summers. If I have to fly back in to walk projects with superintendents or stuff like that, like I'll fly back in for 2 or 3 days and then take off. But now with technology and how everything is ran, I can do it remotely. And we run Buildertrend. I don't know if you're familiar with that project management software. Yeah. So we use that, for everything. So it makes it nice.
Yeah, everyone that uses Buildertrend is like, this is really, there's nothing that's going to be the perfect solution, but everyone's like, the way that's just dialed in for the industry is,
it's good. Like, I've used other platforms. There's some more expensive ones that are geared more towards commercial construction. And coming from the software world, I'm like, never build anything custom. It's stupid. Yeah. Get something out of the box, figure it out from there, and then change your internal processes for that software, because it's not that hard to actually change your internal stuff.
Yeah, as long as it's not like something that is laggy or sucks or has too many errors, then you should be okay. Yep. So. That's cool. That's cool. I have a call with Buildertrend actually. I think next week.
Okay.
It's next week at some point. So, not that I need it because I run a marketing company, but I just like to learn everything in and out through them too, because there's so many people that use them now. They've been scaling like crazy.
Totally.
So
I've watched it. Like we had. I don't know if you're familiar with Co-Construct. No. But we had Co-Construct. They ended up buying Co-Construct. Co-Construct was like the second largest residential PM software out there, and then they got gobbled up by them. So I don't even know who would be even relatively close to where they're at.
Yeah, no, well, that's the game. When you're starting to play those levels, and you can start to, snatch up your competition. That's the happens in the GC world all the time too. You'll see like a lot of commercial GCs start to, someone from the Northwest want to go to the Southwest. They partner with somebody from the Southwest. Next thing you know, they just bought that company, and now they don't, the name doesn't change, but they own them. For sure. And that's the game that's, in any business really. But, man, I wanted to know like what part of, the process, whether it's, the design side or build side, that like really, that you enjoy the most. Or it could be one on each side, behind the scenes, or,
I really like the design side, like, because I draw, if it's one of our clients that wants us to design and build their home, I actually draw all the floor plans with the client. It's just faster that way. Like, I use Chief Architect. Like, I'm competent in that software. So I'll get the floor plan to the point to where everything's laid out, windows, doors. I'll do the exterior elevations with them. I'll do the electrical plan. And then once that's signed off on, I just ship it out to our draftsman. He does the actual construction prints, and then we go from there. So I like that portion of it probably the best, and that's why I do it. There's other reasons why I do it too, just for speed, and draftsmen sometimes are slow, and I can crank something out pretty quickly with them. And then on the actual implementation or the operation side of things, I like all that, but probably my favorite phase in a building process is framing. Those guys they're artists more than anyone ever realized, especially when you're talking about 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 square foot homes. Like they're taking a 2D picture and turning it into a 3D reality.
Yeah.
It's dude, and if you know construction and you watch guys, they're not all created equally, just like doctors and lawyers and everybody else, right? But our framers that are our frontline framers right now that do nothing but our custom homes, dude, they can read a set of plans like no one's business, and it's like, oh, here, I had to change this because of this and this and the other. Can you call the truss company because they need to re-engineer this truss? I'm like, I mean, they're unbelievable.
Yeah, that's like the really cool side of that, because like, you know, with a lot of custom homes, everything is so unique that those guys on the fly are like, well, this isn't going to work, and the plumbing's not going to be able to fit here now, and in the electrical, this, that. And then that's also where, like, just what I've seen with, like, when it comes to like somewhat marketing side, but it actually helps them operationally, is like a lot of these guys at custom home builders are like, oh, like, I wish I could see inside the walls now, because now the plans changed a bit. And
you can see behind the walls.
Yeah.
Actually, because we have a video company that like shoots all of our stuff. Like, you've seen the social stuff. Once we pass our framing inspection, all he does is come in and he shoots every single.
Does he do Matterport or just video?
No, just video.
Okay.
So he'll shoot every single wall. So the video ends up being 15, 20 minutes. But I actually used it on a project in PV. There was something that there's a transition between a block wall and a framing wall. I'm like, no, that's what this is. And they're like, I don't think so. I'm like, pull up the video. I'm like, so it's right there. Like,
we've done the video stuff like that too. But like, what we've gotten a lot of requests from our clients lately is Matterport.
Yeah, real estate though, probably, right?
Oh yeah, but even for builders, just to see where things are ran. If something changed, like they can go through the Matterport and they can actually just like see the house in 3D and then be like, oh, it's this wall here, boom, zoom in, okay, oh yeah, actually it was ran like this, or it was moved, where was it moved to? And then you can just kind of bounce around to, which the video would do. Video would do kind of the same thing, just a different file format at the end of the day.
3D would be nice to have.
Yeah, so there's because a lot of them do it like real estate and use it for once the house is done.
Right.
Which we've actually, funny enough, I Matterported a whole island in Honduras. It's not a very big island. It took a few hours. My buddy Luke was really the one doing most of it. I was like, we traded off between Matterport and video because we were covering an island that's being sold.
Gotcha.
But it's like a little resort island. It's really small. It's very, very small. But it was like, oh, so we're just like we're just gonna like walk 4 steps. Matterport, spin, walk 4 steps. I'm like, we're gonna be here for a while. I was like, but we're in Honduras, we're on an island,
and we're getting paid.
Get a tan. That's
not bad. That wouldn't suck.
So that was kind of cool. But I've noticed a lot of people are leaning towards that now because you can just pull up the file and like you can see exactly.
Yeah,
in 3D.
Some of these houses are just so big, man. Like so big.
Yeah, I don't know. I could never live in a house that's like ginormous like that. I just feel like it's too much.
Yeah, since I grew up the way that I did, like I feel like the more on top of you are of each other, like the tighter you're gonna be. Like how it is. Like even in a wrestling room, right? Like you're on top of each other all the time. Locker room, you're on top of each other. Like that's where those bonds are created because you have to actually deal with each other.
Yeah,
you can't go hide.
We just moved out of like a just shy of 3,400 square foot house, and just like the way it was designed was like really long.
Gotcha.
It was all one floor,
style,
except for like the office was upstairs. But that was the only thing that was upstairs. Just like a 20 by 18 room that we use as an office.
Gotcha.
But everything else was like really sprawled out. And like if I ever a lot of times I'm working, I would leave my phone in my bedroom and I'd be up in the office, which is across the whole house. And then you get like a 2FA to sign into something, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go across the whole house now. But yeah, like I grew up in like a low 1,400, 1,500 square foot little 3-bedroom house. Like we all were just.
You really don't need much.
Yeah, one bathroom was the annoying part though. A bunch of us sharing one bathroom.
2 bathrooms would have been good.
Yeah, I was like, I'm I'm a stickler on more than one bathroom now. I'm like, anywhere I go, I get my own because I grew up with that and I hated that. And no vent because the house was built in like the early 50s. So you just go hit the window. And I was like,
yeah, don't go in there for 20 minutes, anybody.
Yeah, that was oh gosh, yeah. It's so bad. Whenever I go back to Detroit, I go back to stay in my childhood home still too.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, we still haven't figured out how to do this yet. And I'm like, someone can install that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not hard.
Something.
Yeah.
Do
But,
something.
yeah, I'm like.
Still one bathroom in that same house.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, but now there's not
Yeah.
kids and family and crawling through it. So now it's
Right.
like, oh, whatever. Half the time when I go there, I'm there by myself. So
Okay.
it's like, oh, that's fine for one person.
For sure. Yeah.
So we got basement too because it's in Michigan. So everyone's got a
Oh.
basement in Michigan. So that's kind of nice. Like,
Yeah.
if it's hot outside, you go downstairs, basement's nice and cool. And
Yeah, you rarely see those here.
no, it's not at all. It's one thing I miss about like I have property in Tennessee and then like living out here. It's like there's no basements. Like
Yeah.
the foundation's so hard. It's just you're just sitting on rock.
Yeah, it's not necessarily that too. We have so much expansive soil here too. Like in Gilbert, there's a ton of expansive soil out there. That's where the post tension stuff comes into play often out there. Matter of fact, that's just kind of how it is. But in Montana, I have property there, and everything's a walkout basement there.
Oh yeah.
So which is nice too.
It is cool. Yeah, it's definitely cool. Yeah, man. I want to know a little bit too. Like, what's the main way you guys get business? A lot of word of mouth, or
It's a lot of word of mouth. So for a time, we were like a house pro, and we did some advertising through there because I've ran the gamut. I've had 21 employees, now I have 7 employees. Like I've been all over the place to kind of figure out where I want to be and how I kind of want to do things. So we did some advertising through House, which was good. I mean, we had over, I don't know, close to like 100 5-star reviews on House. So people would call us off that, but everything else has been word of mouth. And then we're been real fortunate, like going into a neighborhood and build a house, and then next thing you know, I'm building 2 more houses in that neighborhood. We're typically
a lot of signs,
but they watch our builds, and I'll catch other builders and pass them and finish before that. And people are always really surprised at how fast we kind of move through stuff. But I kind of attribute that from being in the software world, being able to project manage in that world. Project manage the same way everywhere, right? So if like most guys don't run a schedule, they don't run things, they just kind of wing it, and then like they're real bad about, hey, I'm done with this phase. Can you come start this day? It's like, bro, I'm 4 weeks out. I'm 6 weeks out. So we're on top of stuff like, hey, I'm 6 weeks out. Hey, I'm 4 weeks out. Hey, I'm 2 weeks out. You ready to start in 2 weeks? Yeah, man. Boom. Next guy starts and then keeps going.
That's cool.
It's just it's not rocket science.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think it's it's an industry where like money's there, so it's not like if it turns into a lot of reputation and money is there for sure. So it's like if you can ride off that and have some kind of consistency, even with that, then like that can take you, really, really, really far. Where certain industries, it's like it lives by the ad. If the ad don't convert, then you ain't making money.
And social media has helped us quite a bit too. I'll have clients that said, hey, I've been following you for a year on your Instagram page. Like I had an architect do that. He's like, hey, I've been following you for a year. He's like, I love your stuff, blah, 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 blah. He's like, will you build my house? I'm like, that's pretty cool. When like a former architect comes like, I've been watching you, we can build my house.
Well, I think you also come off on camera like, proper, where a lot of blue collar guys are like, don't point that thing at me. I think a lot of people are starting to get hip to the game that they have to play the game in order to have a chance at winning, whether that's organic or paid or whatever. But you do some funny stuff for hooks or you're just like, that's what we're doing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, like I'm 100% myself. Like I'm not comfortable. Like I am comfortable in front of a camera. Like I started public speaking in college, stuff like that. Yeah. So, and I don't really give a shit about looking stupid because I look stupid all the time. So it doesn't matter. Like I don't have a big ego. Maybe it's the wrestling jiu-jitsu thing. It's like it's hard to have an ego in that stuff. Yeah. And typically if I'm speaking about something, I'm real confident in what I'm talking about, and I really believe in it. So it kind of makes it easy for us. And I tell people all the time, if we're not having fun, man, there's a fucking problem. Like we got to be having fun with what we're doing. Like this is miserable. Like why are we here?
Yeah.
Life's too short.
And it's like cool to like bring visions to life, whether it's a home or a renovation, like seeing that. It's like, from the moment you sit down with them and they're like, this is what we want, and then to the finished piece, like it's a crazy journey.
It is, dude.
And it's like most people, it's their biggest investment of their whole life. And so like to be able to be a part of that is a cool,
super intimate process. And like, I don't think anyone really can fully appreciate it. Like I think next to probably getting married, building a home, or like being in someone's house is it's a huge deal. I mean, that's where they're making memories, or raising kids, or getting married. Like all those things happen like in that house. It's a real big deal for people. So we try and treat it that way as much as possible. But it's just like, we get it, we understand it, so we don't want to just treat it like we tell people all the time, like, treat it like it's your own. Like, would you do this in your house?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think that's missing sometimes for sure. Sometimes like come on now. It's like you would never build your own home like that. So yeah, but I feel like a lot of it's like any industry. There's the people that are really particular and really care about every little detail, and then there's the people that don't. Depending on every industry has those people
for sure.
But I think out here, especially in like areas like PV or whatever, like quality is like it has to. Like,
I've been surprised in that area. I got brought into 2 projects to clean them up this year, and I do my thing. Pretty quiet guy. Outside of that, like I'm really not out there. Besides what you see, like I probably wouldn't even have a social media page if I didn't have the business. Like I could go dark and have no problem having that. But up there, I've seen some of the work that's up there, and I feel like there's some good guys up there for sure. Like don't get me wrong. Yeah. There's a lot of guys up there getting away with murder. Where I'm like, holy shit, like that, like. How did this even pass a city inspection? Like I got brought in on one that was at the framing stage. There was 2x4s cut 1.5 inches short. They stuffed them with blocking. There's missing strapping. Just real bad stuff. And that was a project I was telling you about. There was 1,200 a square foot. Matter of fact, another guy called me yesterday. He had to get bailed out of another project. It's a $2 or $3 million build up there, but I think there's. And I'll just be honest from what I've seen, like the generation of tradesmen is dying. I feel like the younger generation of GC that I'm seeing, the really good salesmen don't know shit about the technical side of building. I think they're getting in over their head often.
I was in a meeting yesterday with one of my GC clients, and he literally said, he goes, all the younger general contractors are marketing companies. They're marketing companies, and they just fill it with the subs that could do it, either depending on the company, the cheapest or the best. They
don't even know if they're the best. They just know, like, hey, this price, and they probably couldn't walk through the house and even pick anything apart.
And they're looking at the spread.
Yeah. Exactly.
They're like, okay, well, I want to be at this margin. And so, like, what, sub can come in and hit it at that margin for me. And they might not even be able to walk through and actually, whether it's a commercial or residential build, and be like, do a proper.
I'm watching them I rap with inspectors, and I have a really good rapport with almost all the inspectors that I work with, because we talk construction, so we talk about all this other stuff. It's like most of these new guys that I'm seeing, even on like a remodel or an addition, he's like, they're relying on us to QC that phase.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
Like,
yeah, dude, like have some pride.
Yeah, like the funny thing was like I was like, I had like a thought. I was like, I probably could do that just because I know how to market. But I was like, I'm like, I would never go into something without knowing enough to be able to like walk in and look at something and be like, okay, that's right because of XYZ, or that's wrong because of XYZ, because like everything we do and produce and everything is inside of some kind of building. So like that matters. It matters a lot. And so like, if I don't have a burning passion for that industry specific, then I wouldn't do that, because like I think that's just exploiting something where it's like I'd rather the people that really, really care to be in the ones of building.
And there's no mystery. Like if you love something, you're going to be good at it, and the money's going to come. Yeah, that's just how it is. Period, right? Work your ass off. Love what you do, and that money is going to show up.
Yeah, it's not hard to give a shit and do things properly when you like it. You know, when you like it, you're like, well, awesome. You want it to be done meticulously. So and then hire your weaknesses after that. Yep. So that's cool, man. If there was if you could look at maybe the end of this year or maybe a year from now, like what is one thing you would say like within your company that would be like, hey, this was like an amazing year?
It's a good question. I feel like every year is like that. Like we had another record year last year. I think we're on track for that. But probably what's been most amazing this year is, I don't know if it's because the baby boomers are retiring and I'm the generation of home builder behind them, but I'm really starting to get clientele who know what they're doing, like homeowners reps from Connecticut that are flying in, managing jobs in PV. Like, they have reinforced to me, especially in the last 3 or 4 months, and I feel like a pompous ass when I say it, but they've reinforced how good I am at what I do. And even my other subcontractors that work on 10,000 square foot house, stuff like that, like I'll ask them like, what's the difference between them and I? And they're like, dude, you have zero. Like you are so on top of shit. Your job sites are always clean. You have QR codes on the walls. Like you have all this stuff. He's like, nobody does that. They're like, my one AV electrical company, they're probably a $5 or $10 million company. Like a year, he's like, I've learned so much from you because he just started doing electrical like the last 6 months with process just by being with you in a house. He's like, I've learned so much from you. So that's cool. Probably been my biggest thing. The money is great, but just like realizing like I'm pretty fucking good at what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like people are starting to like recognize me for it.
Yeah, that's confidence building right there. Right. And then also it's like, oh, I'm doing business the right way because people are like, hey, no, this is the guy.
Yep, for sure.
You know, so and it's good to be able to like at scale. It's hard to sometimes keep the quality of stuff. Like if you can, you know, continue to like scale, but then also keep that quality, like drive the, you know, that's just the values of the company and the culture. That's like, you know, we don't mess around. Like this is the standards, or else like get off the team. Yeah. You know,
agreed.
Like
I think in residential, it's hard to scale. There's a point to where you're going to be too big and you can't have the number of employees to control that quality. So our focus has always been how do we increase our margins by doing the same amount of revenue, but just keep those margins where they're at. And we get those 90 to 95% of the time because people that come to us, they're not like I tell people all the time, like if you're looking for me to be the cheapest bid, I'm not your guy. Like you're coming to me for value and what we bring to the table. And that's where it really helps guys like me that are in my position, like, this is the number. Like, we don't like it. I'm sorry, but I know if I don't get that number, I'm not going to turn out the product that you want. That's just how it is.
No, exactly. And with so much industries pouring into the whole valley and a lot more custom home volume because of it. Last year, just in the last year, has been 14% increase to people that have built or at least started the stage of building a custom home. So over 1 year, that's a big, that's a big amount. What have you seen in the industry, just like how, like with the influx of just so much building and happening here?
What have I seen as far as
like in the industry, what's affected the industry in any way, shape, or form? Or if you're just like, dude, I'm focused on my crap so much, I don't really care.
I mean, like I think there's a lot more home building. I just think there's a lot more money coming into the state. Like people were like flooding out of California, they're bailing from there. This is a great place. Like people in Montana, like, you're leaving Arizona. I'm like, I'm not leaving Arizona. I'm just having a summer home here. But like everybody wants to come here, right? We keep growing. So I think
real
just that, that influx of stuff, and as in more money comes in to the county or to the state, you're going to get those people that have $5 million to burn to build a house.
Or more.
For sure.
A $20 million home.
$45 million house, whatever it ends up being. I worked on one of the houses in PV that I worked on was a $45 million house. It's like amazing house. Like just like holy cow, dude.
Crazy.
Yeah. 3 acres, like completely manicured. I think they told me what the monthly landscape maintenance bill on that house is $21,000 a year a month. The yearly maintenance on that home is $1 million.
That's crazy. I grew up in a house where it was, my mom's single mother. For the most part, I had a stepdad for later in my childhood, but like my mom made that in like a year.
Yeah, I know, dude. It is like insane.
And you're like, oh, so like someone just spends that on a month on their landscaping. It's like, holy crap.
I always joke with that homeowner's rep. She's she's a designer as well. Awesome lady. I've learned so much from her. Like I always joke when I'm leaving those projects up there. I'm like, I'm going back down south where all the poor people live. So I'll see you later.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm like, I'm only building a $2 million house down here.
Yeah, so only 2. Yeah. Oh crap. But speaking of learning though, what's like one major thing? Like if you could pick like one thing that this industry has taught you in the time that you've been in, what would be like the one thing?
Yeah, that's a tough one, but it's probably, I don't know if it's taught, because it's hard to say taught, but it has refined my ability to lead large groups of people through complex projects.
Yeah.
It's, matter of fact, one of my mentors, he's a great dude. He said, good leadership is hard to define. It's kind of like watching porn. You know what it is when you're watching it, but you really don't know how to define it. So, because there's so many different styles of leadership, right?
Yeah.
And like for me, managing like in the military, in corporate America, in the fire service, and here, the construction management side of things, especially with your subs and homeowners, like I tell people all the time, I'm like, you're everything to everyone at all times. You're, home builder, but you're also the client's counselor, brother, sister, marriage counselor. You're also the subcontractor's counselor, because those guys go through up and downs, and you're trying to lead them in a way and lead from the front. So I would say it's really honed my ability to become a strong leader. That's probably the most I've learned.
Yeah.
Especially in the last, I'd say 5 years.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it, but it seems like you brought a lot of, experience in from the various industries, and were able to kind of piece it together, and then
really
adapt quickly from there.
Really, really helped.
That's cool. Well, I think, one more thing of like, you talk about like, the quality and the standards you guys have, but if there was like something else that you could like boast about that you feel you do, better than a lot of, design build firms, what would this is your chance to boast a little bit.
Yeah, I would say, there's some really good guys out there, and I'm not the best for sure, but I'd like to think that I'm up there. I'd say probably what we do best more than anything is we're able to manage that project from end to end. Like we take you from conception all the way to the end, but our level of ability technically and our ability to actually deliver that product in a timely manner is probably our our strongest benefit. Like I told you before, people are amazed, like, man, you ran through that framing phase in like 6 weeks. I'm like, that's just how we do things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't say that we're better than anybody else with design, because that's an
opinion.
Yeah,
game.
It's how do you quantify that, right? But I can quantify, like, we started this house on this date and we finished that, and the product is bar none. And I have people come in, and buddies that are GCs, commercial guys, stuff like that. Like at the end of the project, I'll have them come in, like, beat the project up, like beat it up. Tell me what looks like crap, and like most of the time, it's like, I got nothing for you, B. Like, crushed it. So
that's awesome, dude. Well, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find us at Reef Design Build on Instagram. You can website's the same, reefdesignbuild.com. You can put an inquiry there. We book out, like, I'm a year and a half to 2 years out right now on work.
That's awesome.
So I only really take select projects. The client has to be right and the project has to be right. Like, we've always been fortunate enough to just kind of pick and choose what we do, because I never want to have to do a project, because those things go not so well when you have to do them. So we've been lucky.
Oh, you're at the stage of business where you can be more selective, and then that allows you guys to be more passionate about the work that you are doing.
For sure.
I think that's like what any person would want out of someone that's going to build their home for them, is like, I know the guy that really wants to do this type of home, and whatever, I'll wait a year or two. And, because half these people got the money to go sit, and they'll go rent a $10,000 a month apartment at the Optima or something.
I feel like no sometimes is like, when I tell people no, it's like, now they're like, oh, now I really want you to build my house.
Yeah.
Dude, I really don't
took it away from them. They're like, no, wait.
No, well, because like some of these people, we just know, I'm not the guy that's going to serve you a glass of champagne. Like, I'm a blue collar guy with a master's degree, right? Like, I can get down with the intellectual people, but I'm not going to hold your hand.
Yeah.
I'm going to treat you like a normal human. I'm not going to put you up on a pedestal. Like, even my billionaire clients, like, hey, what's up, Mike? How are you doing? Or whatever. I'm never walking around on eggshells, because I think we all put our pants on the same, right?
We're all people at the end of the day. I think 100%. Everyone just wants to be treated like a human at the end of the day. So, I think most people, especially people that do business with each other, it's like, let's cut the crap and just like, let's just be ourselves and do it. So, awesome. Brandon.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome.